I mean, how about once I get my theme, I just get going, and when I'm about done, that's when we're done. Yeah, I can do this. I can do this. I can make a colouring book. Yeah. Hey guys, welcome to my studio. I hope you're good. So today I'm going to try and make a colouring book. Now, okay, I know this sounds a lot, but hear me out. I'm going to try and do a simple kind of bold and I think it's called a bold and easy one that all the rage even a word anymore, but I'll put the kind of influence here. Because I have to say, after trying to colour quite a complicated colouring book, I honestly got quite frustrated and stopped. So yes, I am going to be doing a colouring book, but actually it's still going to be quite a lot of work. Over the years, I've illustrated picture books, fiction books, educational books, and kind of everything in between, but I haven't actually done a colouring book. After seeing those styles, I thought, why not give it a go? Because it is a simpler style. I mean, it's still probably going to take quite a long time, and I'm most likely, once again, underestimating how long this is going to take. But I can't wait, so I figure, let's get going. I have decided for this video, because I haven't learned my lesson from previous wheel spinning things, I'm going to let the wheel decide the theme that we base this whole colouring book around. So please, I hope it's good. Let's do it. Let's let the wheel pick. Not nervous at all. Let's do it. So this is our wheel. I've put some fun things on there, like painting, drawing clothes, creating characters, and then I don't need to worry about the backgrounds, which will actually be quite nice. That'll be quite simple, and I definitely could get quite a lot of that done. But yeah, let's just see what we get. So let's spin this wheel. I'm really nervous. Painting. Stop. Oh, it's not me painting. Glasses. Okay. Okay, so we could do characters in sunglasses, magical glasses, really cool pattern glasses. Okay, so we're doing glasses. So now we've got our theme picked. I'm so excited. I do love drawing glasses. Here's some I've done before. So yeah, I love having fun with the designs, the shapes, and I can kind of create whole scenes, and maybe I can just have a couple of pages just with fun designs of glasses. I could do like fruit glasses. Yeah, I'm just going to have fun with this. I'm going to try and keep it as simple as possible because I have a lot to do. So let's just get right into it. And for that, I'm going to need my trusty iPad and my Apple Pencil. Let's do it. Let's get colouring a colouring book, designing a colouring book. Let's do it.
So first I start with my very scribbly outline, but let's call it a framing device because there's kind of a border around it. And I think this looks cute in this style of book. Can we describe a line as cute? Yes, we can. But it also allows me to put the title on the image, and I loved coming up with these because it really did reinforce the idea that these are about glasses. But obviously, I can't draw pages with just glasses, although, can I? No. So we've had to come up with other ideas, and yes, they feature glasses, but in some of them, it is also about the scene. Because personally, I don't think I could colour a whole colouring book just with pages of glasses. Do you know what? I think I could. So why have I made so much work for myself? Anywho, the idea of this is it's a sunglasses shop and they are just going to buy their sunglasses, so there can be lots of shapes. And this is kind of a very beachy theme, as you'll see by the sandcastle that I decided to do in the window, because why don't more shops have entire beaches and sandcastles in the window? When the base of the idea was done, it was time to do the line work. Now, normally this isn't as important because I'm going to colour over it, but this being a colouring book, it really needed to look nice and pristine. I suppose it depends what colouring book you're getting, But where we're going for the bold and easy style, we needed the clean lines and also the nice little dots between it. I don't know why they put it there, but it does look nice and kind of gives it a bit more dimension. I don't know. Anyway, so I kept carrying on and adding in the details and just kind of filling up the image with doodles, really. But where this is going to be a bold and easy style of colouring book, it was important to kind of let the own individual person decide what their patterns on their clothes were going to be, so that there was a bit more creative freedom for them. As I had decided to draw a shop, I had to find a name of that shop. And do you know how hard it was to come up with this? I was like, sea, sun, and sunglasses. But, sun and sunglasses. So I Googled the names of shops and that didn't really help at all. But I ended up with sun, sea, and sunglasses. No, I didn't end up with sun, sea, and sunglasses. I ended up, as you can see, with sun, sea, and shades, because I like the alliteration with the S's. I found it was quite fun. As I was drawing these letters, I personally really like to mix uppercase and lowercase. Yes, any teachers out there, I'm really sorry, but I like the way it looks.
This is where I'd normally pop in and say, now we have our sketch, let's get colouring. But we're not doing that today. So now we've got one of our drawings. Let's just keep going and see how many we can do. Yeah, let's do it.
On to sketch number 2, but this time I decided to use one of my images that I absolutely loved because I really wanted to just focus on getting the line right and how on earth I could do this bold and easy style, really, because it's really important to keep that continuous line. So, okay. Confession, I actually did this one first, but I kind of liked the other one, the bigger illustration, to put in the video first. But anywho, so this was me practicing how on earth I would make a bold and easy style out of my current colouring style. And to do this, I thought it was easier to take an image that I already had and just to try and make it work in this new way. And I really liked exploring and keeping in all the little details because I love the bold flowing lines of this. And obviously I had to add a few little squiggles here and there because, that is what I do. But yeah, I had so much fun doing this. I also noticed that as I was researching kind of bold and easy colouring books for this video, that a lot of the lines have this little bit where it's disjointed with these cute kind of touches of dots. I don't know why, but I really wanted to include this because I thought it looked cute. after I'd done the writing and made sure that the lines and the dots and the kind of missing bits of line were where I wanted them, I added lots and lots of doodles and sparkles kind of around the image just to make it more colouring booky. Colouring booky. Because if you know me, you'll know I love adding shape, dots and lots of sparkles around, so that's what I did. When it came to drawing a colouring book about glasses, I couldn't not include flower glasses. I mean, I've drawn so many, too many to count, that I had to. So I figured a close-up of a character with some big flower glasses. And I started off with my really, really rough, kind of embarrassing sketches that, but they help me. So it doesn't matter what it looks like when it starts. It's kind of like you got to break the eggs to make the omelette sort of thing. But anyway, let's get out of metaphor land and carry on. I can't actually quite believe how much fun I had doing this typography. Even though initially it was quite tricky to decide on how I was going to write these titles and names, because I had to decide on a font, a style that would work for everything and all of the images, just so it would be consistent and look more like a colouring book. I also took the opportunity to add a little kind of, should we call it a banner design, because I thought it would be cute and again keep the book quite cohesive, that if either side of the text there'll be just a little doodle, basically more to colour in, but something that related to the image itself. So like a nice sweet little title, and yes, I put dots and magic around it because I could. And I did love this touch. I do this on all of them and it just makes me happy. So, colouring page 4. Are we done yet? And spoiler alert, I do 8. Do I do 8? Or do I do 7? Anywho, I figured it was about time to do a simpler page because they do have a lot of simpler pages in the Bold and Easy styles, just so it depends what mood you're in. If you want to sit and spend like an hour colouring it or going really detailed. I mean, technically you can do this on any of the colouring pages, but it's just nice to have options. Now on to number 5, and I decided to try and find an in-between of the very detailed and the simple, so I left more white space around the side, and I do leave white space, even though I'm adding bits around the side here, I do decide to take them out. The idea of this illustration is that, you know, they're under the sea glasses. So if you look through them, you see under the sea. Now these are, instead of looking at the glasses, we're looking through the glasses. I thought this was a fun way because I'm going to be drawing a lot of glasses today and I've already drawn quite a lot of glasses. So trying to find new ways of drawing illustrations with glasses in, and I do really like this idea. And I like it so much, I do it in the next one, which brings me to colouring page 6. we are also going to be looking through these glasses, and as they're stars, for me, it had to be magic, and now thinking about it, I could have done like pop star glasses or something like that, but I mean, you know me and my potions and magic and little witches, so I had to do that. But I do have to say, it was really tricky finding an image and creating a whole illustration inside star-shaped glasses. Now, I'm always talking about framing devices, and that is literally how I'm using these glasses in this style that I've chosen. But a star frame, I mean, that was really tricky to draw anything that kind of would fit just so that the design would look good. But I figured in the left we'd have the cauldron and the magic, and in the right we'd have the witch, just to balance it out, and then I could decorate lots of space with doodles and stars, and yeah, so I just had fun decorating this one. Now on to number 7. And I skipped through the people because, you know, you've seen me do that 6 other times, or give or take, depending on if I did people in them. So, as you can see, my really rough sketch underneath has got even rougher and even sketchier, just because, you know, after 7 of these, I'm getting a little bit tired. I mean, I have been doing this all day, and these are a lot more complicated than I thought they would be. There you go, I'm saying it, I have to admit it. They really are, because where the line's got to be kind of continuous and like a nice flow and a nice shape, I do end up drawing most of these things twice, like probably more than that actually, just so that the line is right and looks good. So yeah, there's a fun fact for you. If you hadn't guessed already by the, you know, tomatoes and other vegetable things, these are going to be vegetable glasses. Now, okay, I have to admit that they'll be much clearer in colour just because they're not as bold as, I mean, I suppose they are bold. If you saw someone wearing tomato-shaped glasses or broccoli glasses, that is what they're supposed to be, by the way, that are bright green, then you would know what they're wearing. But I thought they were fun and a bit different, so I did them anyway. Last but not least for this video, I mean, I do have to stop at 8 because this video has to actually come out soon and, you know, exist. But I mean, I could potentially go on and on to make this a colouring book. I mean, I may doodle it now and then anyway. But yeah, for the last one, we've gone for a more of a simple page, just so we've got a nice balance. And it's going to be fruit glasses because it's fun. So why not?
Believe that we design pages of a colouring book. Now, I know this is not as long as a real colouring book because that would have taken me a long time and I need to publish this video at some point. So yeah, I cannot believe it. I had so much fun doing this, and it's really nice kind of taking a different direction because I always do the rough sketches, like no matter what. If you've seen my videos, it always starts with a really scribbly sketch. And then I clean up the outlines and I normally send them to a client and then I colour them myself. That is how I work. I do like to keep my sketches and my roughs quite clean. Obviously not the initial roughs because they look a mess, but then they normally do look like this. And this is not too far off the actual colouring book that we made today. I mean, it was really tricky finding a line that I really liked, but I'm glad we did it in the end. Oh, and I cannot wait. So I hope you liked it. Let me know in the comments below if maybe you'd ever colour this. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week. I cannot believe we did a colouring book. Right, I'm going to see how many people I can get to colour this. Do you want to colour it? Begin to imagine how long. That's the back of it. I cannot imagine the amount of work that goes out. My kids will definitely colour this. I'm going to go show them. Oh, here's a video that I think you'll like, and here's a video that YouTube thinks you'll like. And this one is the one where I looked at the colouring book and I got frustrated.